Muscatine. Boy, it is nice to be back in the air-conditioned office in historic downtown Muscatine. I'll tell you, I love the fair. I absolutely love the fair. But after about, 5 days of that, I am ready to chill. I am an inside creature by nature. So if you didn't make it out to the fair, you're nuts, because it was absolutely amazing this year. Shout out to Kelsey and everybody, that the fair board, the FFA, 4-H crews, the volunteers. It was an amazing fair. The Josh Turner concert, I'm not a big country guy, but the place was packed and going crazy. The trailer races and demo derby yesterday, wait till you see the clips from that. We got a bunch of cool stuff. The donkey races Thursday night were, they're donkey races. What more can you ask for? We got to broadcast a little bit of the beef show and a second half of the horse and pony show, which was thoroughly enjoyable, watching the kids out there doing their thing. So watch for some clips from that coming out yet this week from us. It was an absolute blast. So again, if you've never made it out to the fair, put it on your calendar, third week of July next year, because you'll want to be there. So it's going to be a crazy week in Muscatine, because the summer always is in Muscatine. It's Ragbri week, so everybody's getting ready for people landing, like 70 million bicycles landing on us on Saturday. If you want to volunteer and participate, I am sure the chamber still could use some extra hands, so reach out to them. And following that, it'd be crazy if we went like 3 weeks, 4 weeks without Welsey having a concert. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, we stay busy.
It's so the next in the Jackson concert series is coming up next Monday.
Yes.
It's Josh Duffe is a percussionist who brings us, and this guy is legit. And again, percussion, not my thing, but I watch this guy and I'm going, oh, holy cow. So how did you guys end up getting Josh? Because he's a regular for you guys, right?
At least, yeah.
Recently,
he's becoming a regular. He was here last summer. He's been doing these types of shows. He loves popular music of the 20s, 30s, and 40s, jazz music. And so he tries to have like a different theme every single year. And yeah, you're right. His talent on the drums, on the trap set, and just all percussion is just incredible. So just explosive energy. Just hearing one of his solos is worth coming.
Yeah, so here's the great thing about the Jackson Concert Series. If you haven't, I don't know how you could not know about it, but it's a free concert series that Welsey hosts. This one will be next Monday at 7:30. Doors open at 6:30. And again, it's a completely free concert, so there's no reason not to go. And what I always think of with these is, while it may not necessarily be my thing on spec, right? You guys do such a great job of pulling in performers that are so good, anybody can enjoy them, right? It's, it may not be your niche, but it's something you can go and enjoy and kind of expand your horizons, because not every town has stuff like this. So make sure you go enjoy it. This is kind of like the Frank Sinatra, Duke Ellington kind of stuff, right?
Well, yeah, last year was Frank Sinatra.
Oh, last year was, okay.
Now it's going to be Duke Ellington and Count Basie. So take the A Train, and it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. April in Paris, songs like that.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's the nice thing is I'm going to bet just about everybody will recognize these, regardless of whether it's kind of like your lane or not. So we actually have, Chris, could you bring up that video? Josh was on Paula Sand's show a little while ago.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, and we've got a nice little clip here so you guys can see what we're talking about. Chris, are you ready? So enjoy.
So So when you see this,
Yeah.
I mean, how, does that put a little tingle up your spine?
It does, yeah. And what was neat was that Gary Mativier is the one that thought up with the idea of coming out and filming the segment. So he came out with his crew, and he'd follow me too for years. And I taught his son Adam drum lessons.
Oh my
And so
goodness.
he knew about my passion for Louis Bellson.
So is your main instrument, Josh, the drum?
Yeah, it's the percussion, and I learned that from many years ago. My director at John Muir Middle School said, you want to be known as a percussionist, not as a drummer. A percussionist can play everything, a drummer just plays a couple things.
Sure.
And my other drum teacher said, you know what, be as open-minded about music as possible, and your phone will never stop ringing. And so after our interview today, I get to play 80s music.
Oh,
So-
yeah, oh really?
So there you go. Like if that doesn't knock your socks off, I don't know what will. So, but it's not just him. There's
Yeah.
going to be a whole bunch of other soloists, correct?
There's a whole bunch, I mean, his whole band
Gotcha.
that he brings with him. And, you know, with jazz music, you know, they'll riff, you know, the trumpet will have a solo, the trombone will have a solo, maybe the string bass. It just goes all around. So you just see, you know, the individual performers really shine, but then their, you know, sound all together is just really impressive.
Yeah, and that's the one thing, you know, that always blows my mind is that so many people can be doing something so differently, but yet when it all comes together, it works. Like watching the symphony is the same way for me. Like it just blows my mind how it all comes together. So I'm glad people out there like Brian can figure that out because I definitely cannot. So after next Monday's concert, there's more coming, right?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of take
Yep.
a little bit of a pause, right?
Yeah, we're still working on like finishing the 23-24 season, but it's basically in place.
Yep. So October 29th, you've got Greg Hand, who's an organist.
Yeah, he teaches at the University of Iowa, and he's going to be incorporating some high school singers into the program as well. So we're trying to reach maybe more people by having other instruments involved. So that will be a lot of fun. That's a Sunday at 4 concert.
Then one that I saw on the schedule really early, and I'm like, okay, there's one for me. November 3rd, the Singing Contractors. These, for those that don't know, what are the singing? Actually, you know what we didn't do, Dan? We just assumed everybody knows you. Could you introduce
Yeah.
yourself real
Yeah.
quick for those that are going, wait, who is this guy and what's he talking about?
Yeah, I'm Dan Laaveg. I'm the music director at Wesley and also serve on the Jackson Concert Series committee.
Yeah. So I guess I just assumed because you're here like every 3 or 4 weeks with a new concert, most everybody would know who you were. But so Singing Contractors, what are those guys?
Exactly as they say, they build houses, and on the side, they've got a couple huge beards, and they love to sing gospel music, and so they'll be here on Friday, November 3rd, 7:30, free concert with their band as well.
And then November 30th, so just after Thanksgiving, you've got a Celtic Christmas.
A Celtic Christmas.
Celtic,
Yep.
yeah, I can always say
So
it's the Boston Celtics. I can't
Yeah,
help it,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. Sorry,
So singing, dancing, storytelling. Just think about an Irish Christmas time experience, and they were here maybe 20 some years ago.
Oh, wow.
And they do a touring ensemble every year, and so it's just going to be great folk music from Ireland, and a great way to kind of kick off the Christmas season.
That's awesome. So this summer, you guys, you were here, I don't know, maybe about a month and a half ago, talking about the upcoming music camp,
Yeah.
which just finished up.
Yeah.
How did it go?
Yeah, it went really well. We had 39 campers, so that was kindergarten through 6th graders, and we had almost as many volunteers, 34 volunteers.
Wow,
And
that's like real adult time.
Yeah. Everyone did a great job. We did O Jonah for the musical for 3rd through 6th graders. The K through 2 group sang some songs on their own, and also got to be in the musical in the first song, and there were some waves when Jonah was thrown overboard and things like that. So
Nice.
we had a great time.
So speaking of little kids singing, that kind of rolls right into the choirs that are starting up their fall, winter, school year season.
Yeah,
I
school
guess
year
is-
season. Yeah.
So you guys have 3 community choirs. So what do those 3 look like?
Yeah, so anyone that loves to sing in the Muscatine area, kindergarten through 12th graders are open, or are able to be in these choirs. K2 is called Littlest Angels Choir, and they start September 11th. They meet Mondays from 4 to 4:45. The children's choir starts the same day and meets again from 4 to 4:45. That's 3rd through 8th graders. We're expanding it a little bit this year. And youth choir is for 6th through 12th graders. They meet on Sundays. They're going to start a little bit earlier on August 27th, and they meet from 3:30 to 4:45. All of these choirs meet at Welsey United Methodist Church here in Muscatine.
And for those that are directionally challenged, Welsey is super easy. You know which one it is, you just may not. So on the corner of Iowa and 4th. I have to count back from 5th Street every time. I don't know why, and it's 1. I don't know why that's so hard, but it's right on the corner there with it's kitty corner from the old post office, across the street from MCSA. So it's the big gray one. Also where the symphony plays, if that is your cup of tea. So the choirs will perform, 2 concerts a year?
Yep, and then like the older students have some additional singing opportunities. Youth choir the most, and then also children's choir some. So it's just a great way for you to kind of supplement your love of singing, to sing a variety of musical styles and just make new friends, because we get people from the Quad Cities that come down, lots of Muscatine, some L&M students, and so it's just,
It's just another great opportunity. Like if that's your lane, take advantage of it, right?
Yep. So my associate, Sally Potter, directs the children's choir, 3rd through 8th. I direct the Littlest Angels, K2, and then the youth choir.
Gotcha. So how many kids are in that usually?
So altogether, it's probably around low 30s.
That's
and
awesome.
we're really growing the younger groups, and so really trying to get those youth choir members to come on out.
Which is awesome. So again, let's kind of recap all this, because as always, you always have a ton of stuff when you come in. So next Monday, so a week from today, after the whole RAGBRAI mess, after you've gotten through all that, it's not a mess. I mean, it's happy chaos, right? Next Monday, 7:30 at Welsey. Doors open at 6:30. It's a free concert, amazing percussion, jazz all over the place. And then if you've got a K through 12er who's interested in singing and performance, stop by, contact Dan.
Yeah, you can also go to the church website, wesleyonline.org, go to the Life at Welsey tab, and then under that will be music, and there will be registration in there. So we'd love to have, people just try it out, and we've had people who have been in it for, 5 to 10 years. They just love the experience, love the people that they're around, and love to perform in the concerts.
That's awesome. Well, Dan, thank you for stopping in and kind of going through everything with us. Don't forget, check out the Welsey website. I mean, they always have everything there. So I'm sure you'll be back again here probably in about
a couple months, probably.
Yeah, because we get a little bit of a break through the end of summer here, but then we'll fire back up. Well, as always, sir, it was great to see you. And we'll be right back with Ashley Wiebe and some of the FFA kids talking about their experience at the fair.
Rivo, the plumbing experts for Muscatine and surrounding areas, has moved. Our new location at 1109 Grandview Avenue offers spacious parking and a large open showroom. Employing experienced plumbers and carpenters, we specialize in remodeling entire bathrooms and kitchens. Imagine the possibilities. Stylish new faucets, sinks, shower units, bathtubs, and more, along with tankless water heaters and gas fireplaces. We also provide complete residential and commercial plumbing services. Rivo Incorporated. Call us for your next remodel.
River Rehab Physical Therapy. Feel better, move forward.
Looking for a fun-filled summer? Look no further than the Muscatine County Fair. Get ready for heart-pounding rides, mouth-watering food, and unforgettable memories. From Ferris wheels to tractor pulls and concerts, there's something for everyone. The Muscatine County Fair is where memories are made, laughter is shared, and fun fills the country air. Join us from July 19th through the 23rd and experience the best summer has to offer. Get your fun pass and concert tickets now at muscatinecountyfair.com.
And welcome back. Oh, geez. Excuse me. Holy cow. Oh, the things that happen during commercial breaks. So we are here with an entire FFA crew, and the 5 days at the fair, I never stopped learning things. Like, even just Ashley swung over when we were doing Bacon Buddies, and just listening for 5 minutes, I picked up about 14 things I didn't know. So you guys, first let's have you guys all introduce yourselves and maybe a little bit about what you showed at the fair, and then we'll kind of dive into it a little bit more after that. Chelsea, you want to go first? There you go.
I'm Chelsea Carlson, and I showed a boar goat at the fair this year.
My name is Madison Wyatt. I showed a lamb this year.
Hi, I'm Elodie Gassine, and I showed a ewe and a wether.
Hi, my name is Addie Wagan. I showed a purebred Dorset and a commercial ewe this year at the fair.
What'd you show, Miss Ashley?
I did not show anything. I'm a little past my prime in that regard, so I just willingly give out my advice for everyone instead. But I'm Ashley Wiebe. You guys probably saw me a couple weeks ago over here. One of the ag instructors over at Muscatine Community Schools, and I also happen to be one of the club leaders for the Sweetland 4-H Club as well.
Okay, so when you guys mentioned what you do, I'll be honest, I knew about half the words you said, and most of those were your names. So let's start with the goat. What kind of goat is it? Like, I mean, I saw some goats. I did make it through the kitty barnyard, so I am familiar with a goat. But what does the goat? What does it take to show a goat? Right? Like, from like, when do you start? How old? Like, what's showing a goat?
So I showed a meat goat, and it was born in January, so I got it around April. And basically I had to feed it every day, and I had to halter break it, which takes a while, but we did it.
Goats are fairly stubborn, aren't they?
Yes, very stubborn. But we got somewhere, I guess. But yeah, I would be there every day, and I'd walk it and hope it would walk too. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had to do.
Do you put like a carrot in front of it on a stick in front of it to get it to go, or?
Well, it didn't eat any of the treats I wanted to give it at the beginning of the year, so that was pretty frustrating. But then finally it would eat goat treats, so that was helpful. And then it just didn't care, so we tried. But
wow, nothing quite like an apathetic goat, right? So what does showing the goat, like the day of the show, what does that all look like?
So we had to wash the goats to make them look all nice, and then Mrs. Wiebe over here, she helped me fit the goat, which is like you just kind of brush up the legs a little bit to make it look fancy and make it look real nice for the people to judge.
Well, so I mean, it's kind of okay for the non-ag guy in the conversation here. It's kind of like a dog show, right? Functionally,
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So goats, got it. Now, then I heard what all did you guys show? Were they? I mean, they were four-legged animals. That much I'm gathering.
Yeah, so I showed a sheep, and he's a wether, which means he can't reproduce. And so basically what we do is we go in the ring and we set him up so that way he looks good. That way he looks good, pretty much.
So basically, this is like a beauty pageant for
animals. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then got it.
Yeah.
Well, I also showed a wether, and she kind of explained that a little bit. And I have a commercial ewe. A ewe is a girl for sheep.
And that's EWE, right?
Yeah.
Hi, so my name's Addie. I showed 2 sheep this year. They're both lambs. They're both born towards the beginning of February. And like I said, I named off their breeds. So I had a commercial ewe, so that means she was a cross.
Okay, what is a commercial ewe?
So a commercial ewe is a breeding ewe. So we're going to use her for breeding later in her life, and she'll probably stay around here in Iowa and breed. That'll be her future. And then
Gotcha. So pretty chill, right?
What?
So pretty chill, I mean, compared to becoming dinner, right?
Yeah. And then my other one is a purebred Dorset. So she is completely white, and she's a purebred. So she's a little bit, I wouldn't say rarer, but you don't see them as often. She was the only one in her class at County Fair. But
So you won.
yeah, I felt great. She was a Dorset.
So what you're saying is if I could rewind and pretend I'm 18 and go get one of these things, I'd probably stand a pretty decent shot of at least getting second, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so like Chelsea kind of said, we get them ready before the fair. So we wash their legs, we'll groom out their leg wool, because leg wool is a huge component of showing lambs, and then we shear them, like usually the day or the week before, so they can look as sleek and stout as possible for the judge.
Gotcha. And so shearing them, it's like just like buzzing your head, right? Sort of.
It's like, yeah, like sometimes I say like Weebe's giving out free haircuts because she's got these trimmer and she's buzzing the sheep off.
I'll bet my wife could do it really well. She's been doing my head for like 25 years, so.
But yeah, so that's kind of the inside scoop of showing lambs. There's not a lot to it, but it's fun. You get a bond with an animal, and I give them silly names.
Okay, what were the names?
Okay, so my first ever year of showing, I named my lamb Maple Syrup. So I was like, I gotta continue with the trend. So this year I had Banana Muffin and Pumpkin Pie.
Nice. Did you guys name yours too? Yeah. Okay.
So I have a sheep named Dizzy, and let's just say she acts like she lost quite a few brain cells. And I didn't end up naming her. Wiebe actually ended up naming her. And it kind of just stuck. And then I had...
Is it part fainting goat, maybe? Is that the problem? Like, was there a crossbreed there?
She got sick, and she ended up getting sick and ended up having a little bit of maybe some brain trauma, and so we weren't even sure if she was ever going to get showed, but Elodie did a nice job kind of working through that and just being patient with her, so we figured we'd give it a whirl, but yeah, we always just called her Dizzy, and it just kind of stuck. She walked around like this all the time.
Hey, how does that go again?
Like this, yeah, so...
And the best part, what you guys didn't even see, and again, everybody needs to get their own Margaret because mine's amazing. Margaret's over there doing the same thing. Like, okay, so finish off the names. What else did you?
Lucky, and then my first sheep ever is named Chance, and that's kind of a little bit of another funny story, but I don't know if we have time for that.
Okay.
This is my first year showing, and I named him Pedro. It's funny, you know, Pedro.
What? How? Pedro. Got it.
So when we yell at him, it's just kind of funny, you know.
Chelsea, did you?
I don't have a funny story behind mine, but it's just a goat named Diego, and he's just okay. He didn't bulk up the way he was supposed to for fair because he got a little abscess on his neck, and he was shoved out of the way from the other goats in his pen. So he's just kind of a weird goat. He's an odd guy, so he gets an odd name. Or like just a little.
Sorry to all the Diegos out there in the world. Don't send me messages. I will apologize right now to all the Diegos in the world. Holy cow. Jeez, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. Okay, so now the fair isn't the only thing you guys do with FFA though, right?
No.
So what does the rest of the year look like for you four with FFA?
Around April, I'm going to state for biotech. I did last year, so I'll be doing it again this year.
What's biotech? I mean, like, I know what biotech in general is, but what's the competition?
It's more like where we go, we basically have to identify like flowers, kind of flowers, parts of flowers, on and end things like that, like biotechnology pretty much. About 50, I want to say 50 things I'd be able to identify, and they'll give us 30 out of 50 things we have to be able to identify. Cool. We have to take a test about it, so.
So I'm hoping to do another public speaking contest. Get ready for that soon as soon as school gets back up again. And I'm an officer this year, so I'll I'm our reporter, so I'll be doing something like this every once in a while.
Well, and isn't that, yes, that's, and again, everybody needs a Margaret, which is reminding me that you guys, the reporter also, a lot of the stuff you do goes in the paper, like into Discover Muscatine, and we help push it out so everybody can see what you guys are doing. And you're kind of like our little window into FFA.
Yes.
Throughout the year.
And then I hope to maybe do poultry again this year, but we'll see.
So I do a lot of things during the year in FFA. I'm kind of always around in the ag rooms trying to help out wherever I can, but there's a lot of contests you can do throughout the years. So my first ever year I did conduct of meetings, which is kind of like a meeting setting and learning an introduction to conduct and meeting rules.
Like Robert's Rules of Order and all that fun stuff.
Parliamentary procedure, yes.
Yeah, forget that.
So, and then this year, because I'm going to be a junior next year, that was my sophomore year, I did prepared public speaking. So I prepared a speech and I presented it at sub-districts. It was about breaking agricultural norms and how to recruit FFA members, basically.
Gotcha.
And then I did not get the opportunity to go to state this year, but my freshman year, I got the opportunity to go to state for agricultural sales, and we actually won, so we got to go to nationals, and that was a really cool experience going to Indianapolis.
That's awesome. Chelsea, what else do you
do? So earlier when was sub-districts?
Spring.
In the spring. I went to sub-districts for manual quiz, which I just learned the manual and answer a bunch of questions, like on the spot. They pick random questions.
Manual of what?
The FFA manual.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Sorry, I should have clarified. But then I went to districts with that, and that's as high as you can go. So I did districts. And then in June, actually, I went to the state floral contest. And
I remember.
Yeah.
And we got pictures of it.
Yeah. So
you can tell how you did.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I got state champion individually and as a team. So I'll be going to Indianapolis for nationals in October. So
awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great job. So what if there's somebody out there watching right now that's like, should I, let's say they're in high school, because obviously if they're not in high school, they couldn't be thinking this. If they were thinking about FFA, what would you want them to know about what it's like to be in FFA?
We'd want them to know the fact that like it's a really big community, and it gives like high schoolers a really big opportunity to find something that they enjoy doing, because there's so many contests that you can join, plants, animals, you can go into so many things, and it gives high schoolers a chance to be able to do something with a big community and people to support them around. Do you guys have anything to add?
Yeah, and there isn't just public speaking contests. Like Maddie said, there's animal stuff and plant stuff. So usually people can find something that they enjoy and that they're comfortable with. And there's so many things you can branch out and do, because agriculture almost connects to everything.
Well, it does, because like last year I got the opportunity to judge the website design contest for the FFA chapters. And, you know, again, every organization needs a website. So they, like, do you guys, does FFA just like make a contest out of everything? Like, if you can count it, measure it, or see it, it's a contest. Is that about?
I mean, really, when you think about it, I mean, agriculture, like Elodie was saying here, kind of connects with everything. I mean, every single bite of food you eat in some way, shape, or form connects back to agriculture. That's like my stumping question. I always try to get them. These guys probably remember me asking that question. Stump me, I guarantee you I'll figure something out here how it's connected back. But if you think about, you know, jobs and everything else, all these agriculture companies need people who are representing them, marketing. I mean, we have to have people who are in business that are going into this. So honestly, it doesn't really matter what your skill set is. There's probably a place, or there is a place in agriculture for you some way, shape, or form. And it's just getting kids to understand that, and also understand that since we live in Iowa, there's a very good chance that they will probably work in a career in some way, shape, or form that connects to it, because 1 in every 4 people in the state of Iowa directly work with agriculture. And if you stay in Muscatine County, it's 1 out of every 5. So if our kids around here plan on kind of staying in the area, it's probably good to have some background knowledge anyway.
Yeah, and that's just skewed by HNI, because none of those employees would count as ag since they're desks. But if you pulled HON out, I'll bet you it's probably 40.
Jobs,
yeah,
jobs,
right.
and
But
that stuff kind of fits in there too.
yeah, so.
Yeah, so like everyone else said, FFA and just agriculture is such a big program. There's so much you can do. There's not even just public speaking. That's what I was comfortable with. But even this past summer.
Really? You were comfortable with public speaking? I would have never guessed.
So it's one of my favorite.
Right? I mean, this is pretty normal, right?
So I love public speaking, but one thing that I was challenged with this summer, is a few weeks before the competition, Miss Wiebe was like, what about horses? I had never interacted with a horse in my life, but I put in the effort, and that's just kind of thing about FFA, is there's so much you can do. Sometimes you just get put in contests and you end up liking it. I wouldn't say love it, but there's so much. I know one thing. I wouldn't say love horses, but it was a cool experience that I got to experience. And one thing my mom actually said after I got into FFA and started doing this kind of cool stuff is she's making my little brother, because he's going into 7th grade this year, she's like, you're required to at least do 1 year of FFA. I don't care if you don't like public speaking, you're doing something your first year, because you saw all the stuff it does for other kids in the area. So
Awesome. Wow. So basically what it boils down into is FFA is awesome. It kind of culminates at the fair. And then, I mean, if you go on past that, of course, but in Muscatine County, a lot of it culminates at the fair. And it's just tons of kids all year round doing cool stuff and led by a group of really amazing teachers. And to kind of tie back to the fair real quick, we did a quick broadcast from the beef show, and Sam Paul, who I went to high school with, came over and we were talking about it a little bit, and I learned more in that 5-minute conversation than I have in I don't know how long. I think he only rolled his eyes at me 3 times in 10 minutes. Sometimes I think Sam looks at me and did you really just ask that? And yeah, I did. I mean, there's really nothing more to say. Yes, I did ask that question, Sam. So great job. Keep it up. And I'm sure we will see you guys all again next year at the fair. And maybe we'll have to we're talking about maybe broadcasting the shows. Maybe we'll have to find an announcer here in the room that could help announce the shows. No.
I'm sure we could find somebody if they're not showing in the shows. So.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, ladies, thank you for stopping in. Congratulations on the great fair season. Called a fair season. Yeah.
Fair season, yeah. Now that a couple of these kids, and this isn't just a Muscatine FFA thing, this is in general for the fair. If you happen to win the whole show, you get invited to go to the Southeast Iowa Showdown, which is held down in Burlington here. On Saturday night. If you're in the top 2, if you are champion or reserve over the whole show, then you also get invited to go to the Southeast Iowa Final Drive, which is that one's in Burlington, I'm sorry. The showdown's in Donaldson. So there's 2 more opportunities here. If you're kind of the elite of the elite at County Fair, you get a chance to go represent even more so. So we'll be gone, at least a few of us are going over on Saturday to go cheer on kind of some of the rest of our county. It's all fun and games, it's all competition at the fair, but when it boils down to it, we want to support everyone else in the county, whether they're Muscatine FFA, Sweetland 4-H, or any of the other clubs or chapters. We're proud of the county and what we've got here. So we're going to go support them on Saturday night, and then a couple of these guys are actually going to be competing again then on Sunday night. So go rep the rest of the county, and if you're interested in helping support everyone, or if you're going to be there on Sunday, I believe you can talk to Derek Hantz, Alyssa Schultz, which is one of our alumni. Actually designed some shirts so we can all show up in the same purple shirt and look like a nice big crew there. And if you need one, talk to Derek Hantz, another one of our alumni. He's kind of headed up that effort to make sure that we look good. So come on down and watch the rest of the county compete and see kind of how we stack up against the other counties in the area.
Awesome. Great job. And Muscatine, I think that'll do it for today. We will see you tomorrow. Enjoy your